Namaste, Vanakkam, Namaskaram, and welcome to another edition of Dharma Samvad, your favorite Hindu channel in South Africa. Let us begin this evening's program with the opening prayer, the Gayatri Mantra. Om Bhur-Bhuvah-Swaha Tatsavidhurvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhur-Bhuvah-Swaha Tatsavidhurvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhur-Bhuvah-Swaha Tatsavidhurvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much. Today we celebrate Hanuman Jayanti, the birth celebration of Sri Hanumanji. Well, it's a very special evening today because we have a special guest, Sri Hari Prabhu from ISKCON, and we also have our new presenter, Reina Bika, who will be joining us a little later in the program. But what's so special about today? Well, not only is Hanuman Jayanti celebrated in India today, in fact, it was observed in South Africa yesterday, but more importantly, the youth of the country decided to give Hanuman Jayanti a very special boost. And we'll find out a little bit more later in the program. So take first slide, please. So Hanuman Jayanti is known as the birth of Lord Hanumanji. And it's a festival that's celebrated with great zeal and enthusiasm by all his devotees throughout the world. Regarded as the greatest devotee of Sri Ram, and he served him selflessly in his relentless search and rescue of Sita Mataji. But there are several stories that shed detail of his birth. Lord Hanuman was born on the Anjaneri mountains. His mother, Anjana, was an Apsara who was born on earth. There are other stories that say that he was the son of Vayu, the wind god. In Eknath's Bhavarth Ramayan of 16th century, it states that when Anjana was worshipping Rudra, King Dasratha of Ayodhya was also performing the ritual of Putrakam Yajna in order to have children. Many of us remember that story. As a result, he received some sacred pudding to be shared by his three wives, leading to the births of Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughna. By divine ordinance, a kite emerged and snatched a fragment of that pudding and dropped it while flying over the forest where Anjana was engaged in worship. That's some of the many stories that we hear of Lord Hanuman. Slide 2, please. So we know that Hanuman symbolizes many things. He stands for pure devotion, complete surrender, and absence of ego of the lower self. His character tells us what we can do in our lives by becoming pure devotees of God, aligning ourselves with the forces of good, helping the weak with self-control, unconditional faith, and total surrender to the supreme consciousness. Hanuman is one of the central characters of the Hindu epic, the Ramayana. He's an ardent devotee of Ram and regarded as one of the Chiranjeevis. He is therefore God of wisdom, strength, courage, devotion, and self-discipline. Thank you, Tech. So today in our studio, we are here with Reina Bika, who's had a wonderful experience on Sunday when she visited Lenasia. And she shared with us some of the important features where the Johannesburg Youth Movement put up, which was the Drive-In Hanuman Jayanti program. Namaste, Reina ji. Welcome to the program.
Namaste, Yashika Bain. Thank you so much for having me today. It is a great honor to be part of this Dharma Samvad program.
You're so welcome. And everyone knows Reina Bika because she's been on our show before, where she's been a guest. And she's also comes from the very popular group called Garba Gangsters. Now, Garba Gangsters isn't the common gangsters that one knows. It's a term that the young people have chosen today in order to do some formidable projects. And recently, they did the Heal the World program about a year ago to bring attention to the COVID 19 pandemic in the country. And they used a very unique method of technology and poetry in order to bring the messages to the country, and to the world, actually, because they filmed that project throughout the world. And in the last month, they were involved with Mahashivaratri program. And now recently, they've also participated in the Hanuman Jayanti program in Indonesia. Renaji, you're also a wonderful singer. So it's amazing to have you with us. And I think you're also a holistic doctor. Tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Thank you, Yoshika Bain, for that lovely introduction. So, like you said, yes, I am into holistic healing. I am actually a master's student in homeopathy, currently busy with my research, and soon to become a homeopathic doctor. So that's a little bit about myself. And yes, I'm a co-founder of the organization Garba Gangsters. And as you mentioned, we have wonderful initiatives that have taken place. And we encourage everyone to join us, whoever you are, wherever you are from, find us on any social media platform and join our initiatives. We have many more yet to come.
Fantastic, wonderful. And Dharma Samvad is with Guru Vyasji and Pandit Kirit Bhai. They're not here with us this evening, but they share with us all their love and blessings for the program today. So our pranam to Guruji and Panditji today. Renaji, tell us a little bit about the program on Sunday. And it sounds absolutely amazing. And I'm sure it's a project that took many months to actually put together. And we'd also would love to see some of the little video clips that you're going to share with us.
Yes, indeed. So on Sunday, we celebrated the drive-in Hanuman Chalisa in celebration of Shri Hanuman Jayanti. And like every year, usually we have an event called the United Hanuman Chalisa. And it's been happening every year where, different organizations host it, and from all over different groups and organizations come and they render a few Hanuman Chalisas in the glory of Sri Hanumanji. And due to the COVID pandemic, we had to be innovative and come up with some sort of other ideas so that we can still sing in the glory of Sri Hanumanji. And so Johannesburg Yuvak Mandal, also known as JYM, very amazingly hosted the drive-in Hanuman Chalisa. And we all know the typical drive-in is, what is usually known as people drive in and then they have a big screen and they watch a cinema or they watch a movie or something like that while having popcorn in their own car in the comfort of their car. So this was something very similar, but just with a devotional aspect of being present at a place and still celebrating the glories of the divine God. So yes, on Sunday at the Gandhi Hall in Lenasia, what the drive-in Hanuman Chalisa was hosted. There was a huge screen up, and all COVID protocol was followed very nicely. And each slot was an hour long, where 7 Hanuman Chalisas were rendered by different groups, and 50 cars were accommodated at a time per slot, and each car basically could enjoy the Hanuman Chalisa being rendered live, as well as in their car, basically tuning into the radio station 101.9. And for the people sitting at home as well, it was live streamed on YouTube on their YouTube page, basically. So I think we had lovely sessions on Sunday, and Garba Gangsters also took part in rendering 2 Hanuman Chalisas. That was, we actually broke the ice, and we sang the first two Hanuman Chalisas, which was actually very enjoyable. But I think to just have a look at what the whole day was about and feel the vibe and feel the energy, we can play our video that shows us everything about it.
Excellent. So let's go to video one, Tick.
Namaste, everyone. Today we are here at the drive-in Hanuman Chalisa, and we are celebrating the glory of Shri Hanuman. The United Hanuman Chalisa takes place every single year, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we had to find other ways to celebrate the glory of this wonderful occasion. This year, JYM has hosted the United Hanuman Chalisa in a form of a drive-in Hanuman Chalisa, still bringing the community together and still celebrating this glory. All COVID protocol has been followed, and that is such an outstanding work that has been done by JYM. Hanuman Chalisa. Hanuman Chalisa is recited in the glory of Shri Hanuman. Each line of the Hanuman Chalisa, or each verse of the Hanuman Chalisa, just celebrates his virtues, his power, his compassion, his kindness, and we can just go on and talk about his glory and his power. By reciting the Hanuman Chalisa, we need to then understand and take that power within ourselves. Once we recite the Hanuman Chalisa, it gives us the blessings, it gives us the power to stand up for ourselves, to once again to feel his power, so that we can walk forward with his power, with his blessings. Today, I would like to show you guys, as we are here at the drive-in Hanuman Chalisa, what the vibe is all about. There are cars coming in, and the stage has been set up. Each group is rendering different Hanuman Chalisas, but all with so much of power, with so much of bhakti and love, and it is so soulful and so beautiful. Here we have the stage, here we have a beautiful murti of Shri Hanumanji, and such amazing work is being done to bring the community together. And just the way the last verse of the Hanuman Chalisa goes, "Jo yaha pade Hanuman Chalisa, hoye siddhi sakhi gaurisa." In that way, we can, by reciting the Hanuman Chalisa, we can rid of all our sorrows and all our ego. Namaste.
Absolutely amazing, and it's just wonderful and awesome to see the work and the management of the entire production. I've seen so many cameras plus the stage setup. I think it's absolutely remarkable of Johannesburg Youth Movement to undertake this project. Renaji, what inspired this project?
So indeed, it was a very well-organized event. And I think the main inspiration goes around the fact that, during this crucial period of the pandemic, we still need to find opportunities and find ways to still celebrate, festivals. So I think that, bringing back the elements of, that fun type of events, but also bringing the community together and having to do something like this in a pandemic of such, I think that's where the main inspiration came from. And I think that each person actually, we heard a lot of feedback from many people, and it was all around positivity, because they are looking for things like this, looking for ways to still connect to the divinity. And I think this was the perfect way.
Absolutely. So I think one of the recordings that you did was actually the recording of the Hanuman Chalisa. And I think the words of the Hanuman Chalisa is very, very important because South Africans and people across the world resonate with the words. In fact, the Hanuman Chalisa is recited 24 hours in the Divine Life Ashram in India. And it also began with Mother Krishna Bai at that time. And I know in South Africa, the youth were inspired with Morari Bapuji when he came here many years ago. So I think it's a phenomenal aspect to listen to. Shall we listen to the Hanuman Chalisa? Should we go to video two?
Yes, most definitely. And that specific Hanuman Chalisa was rendered by Santan Yuvak Mandal. Although Garba Gangsters rendered in the morning, I thought that Santan Yuvak Mandal is also a really a good youth organization, and I thought that it would be nice to have a snippet of their renditions. So I'm sure the angle is a little bit uncomfortable due to all the cameras placed everywhere, but I think you can still listen to the beautiful soulful music of and rendition of the Hanuman Chalisa.
Excellent, thank you. Please go to video two.
Sri Guru Charana Saroj Raja Nij Man Mukur Sudhar Bharno Raghuvar Bimal Jasu Jodhayak Balachari Bodhihin Tanu Janike Sumiro Pavan Kumar Bal Buddhi Vidya Dehu Mohi Har Gale Shavikar Jai Hanuman Gyan Gun Sagar Jai Bhakti Sati Loka Ramadut Turid Balaram Jai Putra Pavan Sutana Mahavir Vikram Vajrange Malini Var Sumati Ke Deva Chala Varan Viraj Ture Savan Gundal Gundal Sa हाथ बज और दजा विराजे कांधे मुझ जने साजे
शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन
विद्यावान गुणी विचार राम काज करीबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता नवसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सिय हिति कावा विकट रूप धरि गंधरा प्रेम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवार लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर सिर राम श्री रघुपति कीनी बहुत बड़ाई राम भजन समाई सहस्र वदन तुम रोज सुगावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे
सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा
यम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि गोविंद कहीं सक हमारे होत नया क्या बिना बैसारे
सब सुख है तुम्हारी।
But thank you. I think that was just a snippet, but thank you so much for that. I think, I, as you've said, it was not a really comfortable shot, but I think the idea is to see how the different groups had come together and also to observe social distancing, as you mentioned. Um, but in that process of recording the Chalisa and actually interviewing some of the singers and the people who participated, Renaji, do you find that there's more enthusiasm with the youth in singing the Hanuman Chalisa these days?
Yes, Yashika Ben. So that was just a snippet, but I think it was to show basically what the event was about and how the different groups were placed on the stage and, how they could sing. And coming to the point where I really do believe that the youth are motivated these days to actually, they are passionate and they do enjoy singing bhajans and singing the Hanuman Chalisa, just from the group that I am being part of, and to just observe other groups that were singing, I definitely saw that each group definitely sang the Hanuman Chalisa with so much of bhakti, with so much of good intention, and they just really enjoyed it. And when they display such passion to sing the Hanuman Chalisa, the opposite person listening to the Chalisa, I think they feel the exact same happiness. So definitely.
That's wonderful. That's amazing. So, can you tell me? I think we've got some interviews lined up. So, let's go quickly to the first interview, which is Kiran Purushottam and his son. Ted, can we go to that video?
Yes.
Namaste everyone. We trust you are all well, and we are today at the drive-in Hanuman Chalisa hosted by JYM. We have wonderful, beautiful renditions of the Hanuman Chalisas going on, and here we have the famous Kiran Kaka and Ketan Bhai from the Ramji Bhajan Mandal group, and they have been rendering beautiful Hanuman Chalisas and the wonderful Hanumanji Aarti as well. So Kiran Kaka, we would just like to ask you, we all know how famous you are for your beautiful bhajans and Hanuman Chalisas. Why is Hanuman Chalisa so special and important to you?
For me, the inspiration came from Murari Bapuji when he came to South Africa, especially at the Rameshwar Mandir in 1985. That time, as the chairman of the Yuvak Mandal, we were also given a lot of work to help out with the whole project of the Ramcharitmanas Katha. And no doubt, I mean, once you involve, you got to be there for the 2 sessions of the Ram Katha. And in his Katha, he mentioned time and again that one should do the Hanuman Chalisa part on a daily basis. Now, as much as we were listening, but the real inspiration came when on the last day, we were all, the organizations that were helping were all given tokens from Murari Bapu and the organization, which was the Transvaal Gujarati Parishad. And when they called me up on stage, they gave me a small parcel. I don't know what was in that parcel. When I went home, I opened the parcel, and what I found was the Pratna book that was used in the London Katha by Murari Bapu, you see. So that organization sent some Pratna books. So they gave me about 25 or 30 in a packet. And I'm thinking to myself, we worked for months to help this whole project. At the end of the day, we've got our own Pratna book. Why must he now give me a Pratna book from London? Is that all they could give us? Others were given huge frames and, nice, beautiful tokens. Anyway, I got the Pratna book, and then I thought, you know what? A few days later, I decided to open the Pratna book and thought, let me see what's written in there, what bhajans we've got in there and all that. And I saw the Hanuman Chalisa was also in there. So then I remembered, I said, he said he must do the Hanuman Chalisa on a daily basis. So I thought, well, look, I might as well take the book, leave it in my temple. Before I do my daily arti, I will do the Hanuman Chalisa once, and that's it. Now, in my history of singing bhajans, I could never memorize any bhajans. I always needed a book. When I started chanting the Hanuman Chalisa, within 2 weeks, everything started registering in my mind. That's the first time, and then I knew there was something in it.
Wow, that's really, really a true inspiration and such a wonderful story that goes back so long time. And
Yes.
especially,
Since then, I haven't stopped singing on a daily basis. I must do one Hanuman Chalisa, if not. I haven't stopped doing it.
That's amazing. And I think, guys, that's such a wonderful message to take home. You know, that each day, let's recite the Hanuman Chalisa so we can get the true blessings and power and divine blessings of Shri Hanuman. So Kiran Kaka, thank you so much for your time. This was just, it was wonderful hearing this, your journey of, celebrating the Hanuman Chalisa. We really appreciate your time. Kiran Bhai, is there anything you would like to add?
Well, short on my side is, I think it's great that the various organizations, JYM, and I'm not sure everybody who's been part of this project, but everyone that's been part of this project, I think it's been great that they've come up with this innovation of facilitating the Hanuman Chalisa program, being that we are in the middle of this COVID pandemic, and yet they managed to come up with some sort of idea to say, let's facilitate the program and we can still have it in some way or the other. So this has been a great effort on everyone's behalf, and I think we should all say thank you for this.
Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you, Reinaji. That was really inspiring. In fact, we know Kiranji for a long time and he's been rendering the most beautiful bhajans. But what's beautiful is to see it's passed from one generation to another. Don't you think so?
Yes, Yashika Bain, most definitely. And I think just having him there and having him present sing Hanuman Chalisa, I think it was an inspiration on its own for many people, because he ended off each session with the arti, the tar and the arti. And I think that just everybody felt that once again, that same happiness.
Excellent. And so you are interviewing now two other young people. Can you tell us a little bit more about them?
Yes. So actually, there were quite a lot of volunteers and youth, if I put it that way, that were part of the program, that were assisting and making sure that the COVID protocol were adhered to, as well as just enjoying the session. So this is just a short interview just to ask the experience of how the youth are enjoying the program.
Excellent. And after that, you have also the coordinator of the Johannesburg Youth Movement. So maybe Tech will play the two videos back to back.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. We interviewed Kashmira Bain, and she is from the JYM, and she just also she tells us where they got the inspiration from to host such an amazing event.
Excellent. Tech.
Right.
We have some youth today at our drive-in Hanuman Chalisa, and we would like to ask them that why is this event so special to them? So we have today, and we're going to hear from them why is Hanuman Chalisa and this event so special.
I think it's a fun community activity to unite everyone.
Yes, that is very important. It is definitely a very fun event today because it's something different that we usually have compared to the norm during this pandemic. I think it's the way forward. And why is Hanuman Chalisa or prayer so important to you?
I think it helps us overcome a lot of obstacles and difficulties in our lives.
Yes, short and simple, but yet so powerful. And that was just a message that I think we can all take close to our heart. So thank you guys for sharing your message to the youth. Namaste.
Great, that sounds lovely. And let's go to the next one, which is the interview with the Johannesburg Youth Movement.
Yes, definitely.
Namaste everyone. today we are at the drive in Hanuman Chalisa, and we have a representative from JYM itself to tell us a little bit more about this wonderful initiative. We have Kashmira Bain, is from JYM, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about how this whole idea of the drive in Hanuman Chalisa sparked. Kashmira Bain, over to you.
Thank you. So basically, we just thought that over this time of COVID and the pandemic and having people not being able to attend religious functions, it was really important for us to be able to uphold our religion and tradition. So we were actually sitting and we were talking about the good old days when you would go to a drive-in. And from there, this idea sparked in terms of what a wonderful idea it would be to bring the community in a safe way and have us still practice the traditions and uphold our culture, and more importantly for our children, just have them have that sense of community and belonging, and just being able to recite the Hanuman Chalisas. And also, when we think of the pandemic, the prayer and faith and devotion is the only thing that's going to get us through this. So based on that, we were excited and very happy to host this event.
That's absolutely wonderful. I think it is very crucial during this period that we need to spread prayer and positivity, and like what better way to do that is to come together still as a community and abiding to all COVID protocol. I mean, we've been here since the morning, and it has been such a successful day with so many numerous bhajan groups and organizations coming together to render their Hanuman Chalisa, and such devotion has been spread throughout. I think it's a really good, well done to JYM and their team for organizing such a successful event. So Kashmira Bain and team, thank you so much for this wonderful event, and just a last closing message to the youth.
I think the only thing that helps you through difficulties is prayer and devotion. You've got to continue doing it, and it does take a team to put an event together like this. So the community just needs to come together to support it. We need to pray, and we need to have faith that this too will pass.
That's very true. Thank you so much, and thank you guys for tuning in. Namaste.
Oh, that's lovely. I think the message of prayer and devotion from Benji there is very, very important. And I think that's what Sri Hanumanji always epitomized, the importance of bhakti and single-pointed concentration to the divine. I see there's a last interview that's coming up, and of course that is with the music group Dostana. Renaji, you've obviously seen a lot of the musicians, that came in together with the ordinary, devotees that actually coordinated this event quite nicely. Can you tell us a little bit more about this little interview that's coming up?
Yes, Yashika Bain. So this next interview is it's featuring the band Dostana, and actually this interview was done just after they rendered their Hanuman Chalisa, and we were actually amazed that they really had such a jivey and fun-filled Hanuman Chalisa where, each person, you would feel like you want to just get out of your car and just start jiving a little bit and, clapping and singing along to this Chalisa. So it was really, I thought it would be a lovely opportunity to get their opinion and to see how important the Hanuman Chalisa is for them, and just get some insight.
Excellent. So we'll go to the next video tech.
Namaste everyone, I hope you guys are all well. We are here today at the drive-in Hanuman Chalisa hosted by JYM, and we have wonderful Hanuman Chalisa renditions going on. So today here we have Kiran and we have Raj from the band group Dostana, and they have just rendered their Hanuman Chalisa, and we would actually like to know a little bit more about how special Hanuman Chalisa is for them on this special occasion of this drive-in Hanuman Chalisa. It's a very different type of vibe going on compared to our usual united Hanuman Chalisa. So I'd like to ask you, Kiran, so what do you think of this new initiative of the drive-in Hanuman Chalisa?
Thank you so much for the question. Hi, everybody that's watching right now. I've got to say that, times have changed so much that what excites me most is we can still reach out to people, we can still teach people, and we can touch people's lives. And, Hanumanji brings so much of power, so much of energy into the world. why not spread that? So I'm pretty excited about it, and I love the fact that we can still connect even in the digital world these days.
Yes, that's so true, because I mean, in this day and age, this is how we need to move forward. We need to encourage the youth and encourage everyone to use these virtual platforms to still connect to the spirituality. And I love what you said, that we can connect in this sort of way, and it gives us a lot of happiness indeed. And the Hanuman Chalisa always, it celebrates Hanumanji's power, it celebrates all his virtues. Why is Hanuman Chalisa so special to you, and what virtues stand out the most for you?
So for me, I think the exciting part about it, the thing that draws me most to the Chalisa is the energy that works throughout it. Nobody can really touch you when Hanumanji is around. So the protection element that comes out of it is what stands out for me. And I think that the virtue of love, the virtue of helping people through love, is what really highlights it for me, because we're living in a time where we got to help each other out, right? We got to support each other. We got to be safe still, and this is the safest way, by spreading positive energy, by spreading Hanumanji's words. So that's what I love most about the Chalisa.
Thank you so much. That was so wonderful, and I think that specific verse from the Hanuman Chalisa does. I think every time you recite it, it actually gives you a bit of goosebumps, And so, Raj, would you like to say anything towards this wonderful initiative?
Well, I guess this is the new normal, but I guess COVID, even the prayer, COVID comes to prayer, the way we're moving forward.
Yes.
And it's so great to be out here doing something a bit different, and obviously all COVID protocols followed as well, Once again, thank you guys for the opportunity to be here. It was amazing,
Definitely. Okay, so thank you guys. We are still, the day is still not over. We are still listening to beautiful, wonderful renditions. The energy is amazing. The vibe is wonderful. So thank you guys, and stay safe and stay happy.
Thank you so much. That was absolutely amazing. That was really, really lovely, and lots of hard work, Reina ji. We're going to see you more often in Dharma Samvad, so we really, really appreciate your enthusiasm and your passion, and I think it's fantastic. And all the best, to you and Garba Gangsters, and also to Johannesburg Youth Movement, JYM. You have set the trend in the country for these events, and I think we really owe you guys a lot. Just keep on building up, and taking the youth to the next level in South Africa. So thank you, Reina ji.
Thank you so much, Yashika Bain, and I really look forward to working with Dharma Samvad in the future and celebrating these wonderful events with that same passion and enthusiasm. And I once again thank you so much for having me on board. It's been a pleasure thus far.
Wow, that's fantastic. So we need more youth like you, and I'm sure it'll be great for our country as we go forward. Up next, we have a very special guest. So I would just like to say that he is Sri Hari Prabhu from the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And he's here to talk a little bit about the deeper meaning of Sri Hanumanji. He joined ISKCON in 1978, and he used his background in civil engineering and managed the construction, or was part of the construction team to build the iconic Temple of Understanding in Chatsworth. Wow, that is amazing. I didn't know that. And he spent many years presenting Krishna consciousness in universities in KZN. He's married and has two sons, and they're actually going to be joining us a little bit later in the program. Welcome, Sri Hari Bol.
Thank you, Yashika Mataji. I'm so happy to be on your program.
Thank you. I've seen you as a student like many, many years ago. So it's so wonderful to have you with us, and you've shared so much of love and devotion, all those years. In fact, we really must convey our pranams to you, because, without you, we wouldn't have had a proper Hindu Students Association in the university in those days. And when you used to come with free prasadam, everybody was so surprised, because as a student, having something free was amazing.
Thank you so much. I also remember you as a student. I still do, actually.
Thank you so much. So today we are here celebrating, Hanuman Jayanti, and we know him and to be the perfect devotee of Lord Rama. Why is it so? Why do you think that is so?
Thank you for that nice question, Yashika. In the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, it tells us about the great saint Narada Muni, who traveled the whole universe searching for the greatest devotee of the Lord. He meets Hanuman, who is completely devoted to serving Lord Ram, without any motive and without any interruption, solely for Ram's pleasure. He possesses many wonderful qualities, all of which he uses in the service of Lord Ram. For example, his incredible strength, which he used to the fullest in the service of Ram. When Ram's wife Sita was kidnapped by the demon king Ravan, Hanuman jumped across the ocean to warn Ravan to release her. When Ravan refused and attacked him, Hanuman fought back, killing 80,000 of Ravan's Rakshasa soldiers and many other powerful demons and commanders of Ravan's army. He then set fire to the city of Lanka and then jumped back across the ocean to Lord Ram, who was extremely pleased when he heard that Sita was safe. So Hanuman is free of all fear. He is strictly celibate. He is extremely intelligent. He is poetic, very learned in Vedic literature, and his service is selfless and very pleasing to Lord Ram. This makes him a perfect devotee of the Lord.
Absolutely. So well answered. And really, it just brings to me so much of devotion already because he epitomizes that his sense of humility, his sense of selflessness. That we can learn these lessons from. One of the traits of Hanumanji is the concept of brahmachari. And we know in today's society, it's very difficult for young people to maintain that. But it is a very important aspect in our literature and in our in within dharma itself. Can you explain to us why this is so, and why is it important for youthful South Africans and people all over the world to follow this principle of brahmachari?
Uh, yeah, generally, brahmacharya is thought of to mean celibacy. This is partially correct because it actually means more than that. Brahman means spiritual reality, and Archaran means to practice or to act upon. So brahmacharya means to act in order to be situated on the spiritual platform. So in ISKCON, we are a movement that makes people brahmacharis. It's for both men and women, married or unmarried. It is a question of developing our love for God. Hanuman is an ideal brahmachari. He is a perfect brahmachari because he engaged all his senses in the service of the Lord and nothing for his own pleasure. That is how he performed amazing feats. He carried a mountain from the middle of India and jumped across the ocean to Lanka. Also, we can remember Vedavati. She was performing austerities to get the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a husband. She was performing severe austerities on the top of a mountain. While Ravan was passing by in an airplane, he approached her. First, she told him what she wanted. He forcibly tried to molest her. She was so powerful that she threw Ravan far away. She was so chaste that because he had simply touched her, she considered herself contaminated, and so she generated a fire to burn up her body with a vow that she would cause Ravan's death. She came back as Sita. In today's society, the most important factor is that men must learn to respect women. Therefore, the Vedic injunction is that a man must respect a woman as his own mother. A society which does not do so, which does not know how to respect women, is a useless society. Today's society is simply exploiting women. That is why Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, created a spiritual society where men will learn to give the highest respect to women. If we want a wonderful society throughout the world, we have to establish this spiritual culture.
Absolutely. So beautifully said and so poignant in today's society. With the COVID-19 pandemic, it has become very difficult for people to stay together. It is found that even within marriages, people find it very difficult to work together because in a normal situation, husband and wives work and they don't see each other. Now they have to work together, be at home, and be part of a family life. Do you find that it is necessary for partners and for men and women to develop characteristics of patience and perseverance and devotion to God so that they are able to stay together in a marriage?
Absolutely. Yes, it is so important for all of us to develop good qualities. And we can do that very simply by rendering devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A devotee of the Lord develops all good qualities. Just like we see Hanuman, he is the perfect devotee. And why is that so? Because he possesses all the attractive qualities, he possesses all the good qualities that a human being should possess. And here we have Hanuman, who is he's a monkey. Of course, a very intelligent one who lived in that particular time. He is half human, half man. And so he is also pointing out that if he could possess all such wonderful qualities, then it is possible for all of us human beings also to do so. And if we do that, then we can live very peacefully, in a society or in a family where the Lord is worshipped with love and devotion.
Absolutely. What are some of the universal values that Hanumanji epitomizes?
A devotee is very uncomplicated. His life is simply dedicated to doing whatever will please the Lord. This simplicity and innocent devotion is nicely illustrated in the Ramayana. Hanuman once asked Sita why she applied red vermilion, known as sindoor or kumkum, in the parting
That's
of
true.
It is to give my husband Sri Ram a long life and protect him from any calamity, she said. Hearing this, Hanuman thought, if just a pinch of sindoor can protect Lord Ram, how safe will a huge amount keep him? He then promptly covered his whole body with sindoor. When he returned to Ram, who was preparing his army of monkey soldiers for war, the commander-in-chief Sugriva burst into laughter. Ram, however, gravely asked Hanuman why he had done such a thing. When Hanuman told him, Ram was deeply moved by his innocent show of love and proclaimed that any devotee who worshipped Hanuman with sindoor would receive his mercy and be able to cross all obstacles on the path of devotional service. Still today, devotees of Hanuman worship him by anointing his deity with sindoor. It is an appreciation of his simplicity, his devotion, and his love. And these are universal values, or they should be.
Absolutely. I think that so incredibly summarizes the life of Hanuman and the values that he espoused. And these are eternal values that all of us can imbibe in different ages and different generations. One of the things that struck me with many people worshiping Hanumanji during this time is the reverence that they have of a sadhak and the supreme personality of Godhead, and Lord Ram himself. There's so many depictions of Ram and Hanuman coming together, hugging Hanumanji, creating that bond, that deep bond. Do you find that in today's society it's very difficult for people, and especially young people, to forge a closer relationship to the divine?
Yeah, there's one thing that's very important. We have to keep good association. When we associate with good, like-minded people, we develop, similar qualities. Therefore, it is very important that we should seek out a spiritual master. We should seek out the devotees of the Lord, and we should spend time with them. We should associate with devotees and read the scriptures that are presented by the pure devotees of the Lord. In this way, that kind of association is very, very powerful in bringing people together and guiding them and helping them, advance spiritually and uh, progress towards their goal in life, which is to go back home, back to Godhead, so that we can become free once and for all uh, from all the suffering that we experience in this material world. Once and for all, we can give up, all the miseries, all the inconveniences, all the wants, and put an end to this suffering that we experience in the material world, and go back home where our life is Sachidananda. It is eternal, it's full of knowledge and full of bliss.
Beautifully said. Thank you so much, Sri Hari. Thank you for the beautiful words of wisdom, and also for inspiring the viewers of Dharma Samvad today. We've come almost to the end of the program, but one of the key things that Sri Hari has spoken about is the constant repetition of the name of the Divine Lord, and also the name that, even Hanumanji recited each time he laid the brick before he fought the war in Lanka. And on it was the name of Sri Ram. So each time, if we take the name of the Lord, irrespective of the deity, we are sure and guaranteed to reach the abode of the divine. So, in today's program, we have two boys, I think of Sri Hari, who is going to do the closing prayer. But before that, I would like to wish everyone very well for Hanuman Jayanti, and at the same time to bring attention to the situation in India, which is also, rapidly rising because of the COVID-19 pandemic. We pray for India, we pray for the world, and we pray for all those going through this very difficult journey of the COVID-19 pandemic. And Dharma Samvad team also likes you to please take precautions wherever you are, at work, in the roads, wherever you are traveling, to ensure that you sanitize and keep safe. Thank you so much, everyone, for a beautiful day. And thank you, Reena ji, for joining us in our program today. So we have a young gentleman who's going to share with us the closing prayer and a little chant before we end the program. Namaste, Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So we're going to be chanting the Nishringari of Pranams, which is often recited for protection, and I guess is quite relevant in these times.
Thank you so much.
Namaste Narashinghaya. Namaste Narashinghaya. Praladadayine. Praladadayine. Hiranyaka Shipurvakshaha. Shilatanka Nakalaye. Shilatanka ito nrsimha parato nrsimha ito nrsimha parato nrsimha yato yato yami tato nrsimha yato yato yami tato nrsimha bahe nrsimha hridaye nrsimha Narasinghamadhim Sharanam Prapade Narasinghamadhim Sharanam Prapade Tava Kara Kamalavare Naka Adbhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranya Kashipu Tanu Benga Keshavadrita Narahare Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Tava Kara Kamalavate Naka Adbhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranya Kashipu Tanu Bringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Nrsimhadev Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nishingre Bhagavan ki jai, Bhakti Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.